All right. Good morning, folks. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, depending on the location where you're watching us from. So my name is Anthony Williams, and I'm here live at the Monrovia Central Prison for a second day running since 5 public officials, precisely lawmakers, were charged for the Capitol building fire incident. Just yesterday, these lawmakers were taken at the courts up Capitol Hill, where their charges were read to them, and they were brought here by the Liberian National Police for several charges, including arson attack at the Capitol. And the lawmakers include former House Speaker, Councillor J. Fonati Kofa of Grand Crew County. We also have Honorable Jacob Dibi. We have Priscilla Cooper of District Number 5, Monterado. We have Dixon Sibo, District Number 16, and Honorable Abu Kamara of District Number 15. These 5 lawmakers were brought here at the Monrovia Central Prison yesterday, Soft Breeze Prison to be precise, and today marks the second day running since they were charged, processed, and brought here at the Monrovia Central Prison. Now, you all saw the actions leading to their arrest yesterday, but of course, an official press conference was held by the Liberian National Police. Colonel Gregory Coleman made it clear that the LNP had come to a conclusion of their investigation of the Capitol building fire incident, and that these 5 lawmakers were the ones being held responsible for the action that took place in December. And so yesterday it was a heated incident. We walk at the main entry where there are currently barricades placed by the Liberian National Police, but those barricades weren't there when the arrest took place. Teens were a little bit calm. The lawmakers were brought from the courts, they were processed, and they were taken in here at the Monrovia Central Prison. But eventually, things escalated. The compounds or outside of the South Beach Prison eventually got crowded, and Liberians were expressing their views. Some were expressing their disenchantment. Some were calling the action of the Liberian National Police targeting politicians. And so we're going to go to the main entry of the Monrovia Central Prison and show you what it looks like this morning as it relates to security. This place, as you can see with the number of officers right on my left there, it tells you that the Monrovia Central Prison still remains heavily guided by the Liberian National Police Force, who were here yesterday when the arrest took place. But let's walk to the main entry and show you what it looks like. Now, if you look around, this place is actually clear. You don't see bystanders, you don't see people standing around, you don't see people agitating, just like it was yesterday. There were several people here. Some were sympathizers, family members, partisans, of course, because all of these politicians and lawmakers who have been arrested and brought here at the Monrovia Central Prison are all members of top political parties, most especially the opposition former ruling CDC, especially Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, who earlier had gone through what I can describe as a political fight or an impasse up the Capitol when he was removed by his colleagues electing new House Speaker Richard Nambwe-Kun. And so let's go to the entry and let me show you what the place looks like this morning. Relatively calm. There isn't much action taking place, not like yesterday when there were protesters, when the police was making arrests, when the police were creating barricades, when the police were shooting tear gas. In fact, it's not like that this morning. This place is calm. In fact, as you can see, the officers are taking their rest, they're relaxing. It's not like yesterday where they had lots of job to do from what it looks like. They were very busy yesterday, you could tell. But this morning, it's a little calm. There isn't much taking place. They're seated, they are having time. And obviously, we can't talk to them. But right behind us here is the barricade that was created by the police to actually create a perimeter and barricade the entire premises of the Monrovia Central Prison. Now, this wasn't here yesterday. This entire place was cleared. You could come here driving and go to the Monrovia Central Prison, because this place was obviously a center of attraction when the lawmakers were brought in here on yesterday. But now, as you can see, it's heavily guided by armed security, because what transpired yesterday was, once the lawmakers were brought and the compounds of the Monrovia Central Prison became crowded, eventually there were folks protesting around the Lynch Street area, and so the police had to beef up their manpower, and that made them to bring these equipments that you see that they're using to barricade the Monrovia Central Prison. While the protest was taking place, CDC party chairman Janga Kowo was arrested by the Liberian National Police. According to one or two whom I also spoke to yesterday when the incident was taking place, according to him, the protesters, in his own word, were obstructing law enforcement. And so he ordered the arrest of CDC party chairperson Janga Kowo in what I can describe as a very heated action. He was seen being pulled by his trousers and thrown in the back of the police vehicle. However, eventually, a few moments later, CDC chairman Janga Kowo was released, and he spoke to a score of journalists right outside the same very barricade, expressing his disenchantment and disappointment in the Liberian National Police. He claimed he was being humiliated by police officers. And so there's a lot that is expected. We understand today is going to be the second day running for the lawmakers to be here at the Monrovia Central Prison. But I don't know if it's possible for them to be bailed out. Come to think of it, today marks Sunday. Insurance companies are not open. Government offices are closed. So from what it looks like, it's obvious they might spend a second night here, another night here at the Monrovia Central Prison. Now, there are charges available. They can be bailed out, but in my mind, it's the time frame that it's not well calculated. And so, from what it looks like, they might obviously spend a second night. Yesterday, we saw scenes of family members bringing water, bringing food. We even saw mattresses being brought in here. Well, we couldn't determine whether those mattresses were being brought for the lawmakers who were taken to the Monrovia Central Prison. It could be for other prisoners, but again, we saw mattresses being brought here by family members, and food also. So, folks, wherever you're following us from, let's just whip the camera around and show you. This was a place that was a center of attraction yesterday, but this morning is, relatively calm. Like I said, it's calm. Let's just show you, in fact, along the streets where normal activities seem to also be ongoing. That wasn't the case yesterday. If you came here, you will notice right here at this intersection, there were police officers directing traffic and making sure vehicles will not make their way in this direction. There are still more police vehicles pulling in on a daily basis. This place is an environment that holds a high-profile case, so you expect the tight security presence, obviously. This is one of the biggest political cases in Liberia's history. Over the years, there have been several political cases, political detainees over the years. Just in the past few years, the son of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was brought here. Former Chief Justice Madam Gloria Mutuska was also brought here. Several, top political figures have experienced the, Monrovia Central Prison. So, if you look along the route here, this is the UN Drive, and it's actually busy. Of course, today is Sunday, but folks are going about their normal activities. So, let's go back in the fence where the police officers are, and obviously there are more officers making their way in. Eventually, more vehicles from the Liberian National Police. Now we are also being told that the political leader of the Alternative National Congress, the ANC, was here yesterday. That's Alexander Cummings, yeah? I noticed yesterday he had something like a brief media stand-up. He spoke to members of the press, and he was expressing his disappointment over the way the CDC party chairman situation was handled. According to him, the police were brutal, and in his words, it wasn't a good sign for law enforcement in Liberia and also for Liberia's democracy. Come to think of it, yes. Okay. Sure, definitely. Yes, definitely. We understand. I mean, yes, yesterday was very heated. Come to think of it, there are politicians or not top national figures making statements, especially on social media. We saw folks use terms that they had to go and take back. Yesterday on social media, there were people denying some statements that they made that were clearly understood, but due to the tension, I mean, it was really hot yesterday. You expect the kind of tension that top political figures were undergoing. They were making statements out of frustration, and also wanting. I mean, once things get that political, you expect these political figures to make the kind of statements they're making. But again, it's up to them to defend whatever they're saying, stay by their words. But I mean, you all saw what transpired yesterday, and so in fact, we also noticed that there were pictures and images of top police hierarchy being posted on social media with phone numbers attached, and there were also top political figures pointing out that government officials should be targeted, provided if that's the right word to use here on social media. But again, those were some of the terms that were being used by some of these figures as they relate to this situation. So, folks, we're here at the Monrovia Central Prison. We'll go right back at the main entry again, just to show you what the environment looks like as the police officers continue to do their job. Like I said, this is a high-profile government case. This case involves top political figures. This case involves individuals that are representing constituents across Liberia. Come to think of it, Councillor J. Fonati Kofa is a household name in Liberia politics. He has served Grand Creek County as lawmaker for a while before becoming House Speaker, and eventually he was taken out by his colleagues, and they elected a new House Speaker who is now Honorable Richard Namwe Kun. So yes, guys, this is what the South Beach prison looks like, the Monrovia Central Prison. Lawmakers, 5 of them, being held here, being charged by the Liberian National Police for charges like arson and criminal facilitation and several other charges labeled against them out of the situation that transpired at the Capitol building in December. All right, so this will do it for this video, guys. We really didn't intend to stay here for quite a while, but just to show you what the environment looks like, what's transpiring currently at the Monrovia Central Prison. Like we said, officers are still here. The place is still heavily guarded by security. And yes, we can confirm to you that the lawmakers are still being held here for a second day running. My name is Anthony Williams, and this is LNTV. Thanks for following. Follow for more.